What's up? It's your boy Ghosty. Coming here doing something special for y'all right before Halloween. Before I get into it, want to make sure, please go down, hit that like and subscribe button. Help the channel grow. It's just as much up to you guys as it is me. And I will continue to pump out content like this. I wanted to come on, do something a little lighthearted to kind of get back into the flow of things. It's been a while since I've uploaded on my movie channel. Been heavily focused on my Twitch and gaming. So if you want to go check out my gaming content, second channel, that'll be linked down in the description. Appreciate you guys. But we're gonna come in with a Scream tier list today. This is gonna be something very fun, very lighthearted, but well, have some fun with it. So my tiers are: what's your favorite scary movie? Good, terrible, not good, ask for a refund. This is one of the few franchises of horror that is pretty consistent throughout in terms of the quality of film. There is one movie in the franchise that kind of sticks out in my mind as being the worst in the franchise, but in comparison to some other horror franchises like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, this is a pretty solid film overall. So let's get into it. Start out right off the bat with Scream 2. I'm gonna put Scream 2 in good. Scream 2, solid follow-up to the first movie. Nothing that's gonna knock your socks off or anything. It's not an amazing movie. In some points of the movie, it's really slow especially for a slasher. So the movie opens in a movie theater with Jada Pinkett and giving their she's with her boyfriend and they're giving commentary on horror movies and slashers and kind of how minorities kind of fit into the horror. And we go throughout. After that, we follow up with our central character, Sydney, of course. She is now in a college, and she is has a new boyfriend, kind of a new lease on life. We go through my personal favorite character in this entire movie is Cotton Weary. Of course, he was the one that Sydney falsely accused in the first one. Really like what they did with this arc and how he kind of starts off they kind of can hint that he's the killer, and there's a solid argument to be made for that. But we go throughout and he ends up saving the day at the end of the movie. Really cool. Not the best Scream movie in the franchise, but definitely not the worst. All right, next up we have Scream 3, and I'm gonna put this in not good. This is the one movie in this franchise that I can't look past. I hate the fact that it's supposed to be the concluding chapter in the trilogy. I don't like the fact that they go back and change events from the original movie, answer questions that I wasn't asking. I don't like the fact that Sydney has a brother that we've never heard about, and her mother was in Hollywood and they fucked her 5 ways from Sunday. This is really kind of harping on the Me Too movement and the whole Harvey Weinstein thing. Even before that was a story. Well, quite a long time before that was a story, and of course they were heavily involved with this production, so it's kind of ironic, to be honest. But besides that, it's okay. There's just not a lot happening. Sydney, outside of one scene in the middle, when she first kind of arrives on set to stab. So this movie is about the production of Stab 3, and the director of it, and how they this is very meta, but they kind of rewrite the script as they're going, kind of harping on that and how
and the killer will give mercy to whoever
Can't see shit.
whoever smells the
Hollywood kind of goes through a bunch of rewrites and rescripting and so on and so on. Overall, for me personally, these are the most forgettable characters in the franchise outside of the original three. Sydney does not have much to do outside of 2 scenes. Otherwise, she's just sitting in a chair for 90% of the movie. Dewey's okay. Dewey of the original 3 characters, I would say Dewey is probably the best one of the bunch. Gail, of course, and her bangs, her hair in this movie. God, I have no idea what she was thinking, but her hairdresser should be fired completely. I don't know if that was a stylistic choice or it was a screw up, but good lord, it was rough. So yeah, overall, this is the one that kind of sticks out to me as not the best in the franchise, but overall, like I said, in comparison to some of the other horror franchises, particularly slasher, it's much better than those. All right, next up we have Scream 4. This is a tough one. I am gonna put this at the top. Good. All right, so Scream 4. Relationship with this movie. My opinions on it change very frequently. This is the one that I kind of flip-flop on the most in the franchise. But today I'm gonna call it good. I do enjoy it. I do like it. But there is the part of me that thinks it's a little too meta. It's a little too self-aware. It's a little too poking fun. Like, there are far more times where I end up chuckling in this movie than I end up like jumping or even like scared and I don't like that in a horror movie. I want to be scared. I know I've seen so many of these movies and it's hard to actually quote unquote scare me at this point, but overall, still the overall vibe of the movie is a little too lighthearted. I don't like great cast. It's a fantastic cast. So we got the returning characters. We have Jill Roberts as Sydney's cousin. She is also one of the ghost faces. We have Hayden Panettiere who plays Kirby. She is kind of the Randy-ish. She's like a female Randy-ish character in this movie. I really enjoyed her in it. She comes back in another movie, which we'll talk about here in a bit. We got Anthony Henderson, a great comic, comedian, and actor. Overall, a little out of place in this movie. He kind of stands out, and I hate the fact that so he ends up getting killed. He gets a knife through the forehead. He gets out and he starts swinging in the air. And when he falls, he says, "Fuck Bruce Willis." And again, I laughed. And I didn't want to laugh. I wanted to be scared. It was an intense kill. Fuck Bruce Willis. I didn't like it. There's just a little bit too much of that self-awareness. They even kind of talk about Gail and Dewey's relationship. There's a scene where Gail and Dewey are kind of arguing in the police station. Then Gail walks out, and there's another reporter that comes up to her, kind of talking with her a little bit. And she kind of goes, "Oh, yeah, that seems like a movie relationship because you guys would never be together in real life." And, of course, as we know, if you're a fan of this franchise, you know that David Arquette and Courtney Cox were married in real life. So it's a little bit too self-aware. It's good. They could, if they had toned down the self-awareness a little bit, then this could be up in what's your favorite scary movie. For me, it's gonna stay in good for now. All right, next up we have Scream 6. This one I also have an interesting relationship with. I went to go see this in the theaters. It is, but this and Scream 4 are the only two movies that I've seen in theaters. Um, Scream 6 was my favorite theater experience. I was the first. I went to go see this with my brother, and it was the first time I've ever gone to see a horror movie with him. There was kids running around as Ghostface in the lobby. The movie theater's in a mall, so there was a bunch of kids running around in Ghostface costume. Kids, yeah, and everybody in the movie was into it, yelling, screaming, and it was a lot of fun. It was a great time. But when I remove that from it, what do I think of the movie? I enjoy it, but there's some problems. The problems are particularly in the final act of the movie. I don't like the reveal of the killers. It's kind of feels a little too Scream 2. And there's a scene where Chad. So we get the returning 4 characters, 4 survivors from the last movie, and they have now. I really like their development together as a group as well as individually. I really like that part of it. I was invested. I'm invested in these characters now. I don't need to see Gail and Sydney come back. I'm good with continuing with these 4. But but there is a scene at the end of the movie where there's 2 ghost faces. This is the first time we're actually getting to see multiple people don the ghost face outfit. Two multiple ghost faces on screen at the same time, and they are just filleting Chad with, like, he's like on his knees, spread out, arms spread out, and they are just both sitting there just stabbing him, and he's just like sitting there like not even acknowledging it. He's sitting there, he's like, run, and then somehow he survives it. It's a little too hokey. I didn't like that part. I don't like the reveal of the killer, and there's some heavy plot problems in this movie. Like how so Kirby returns. She supposedly was killed at the end of Scream 4, but she ends up surviving and returns for this one. But she's an FBI agent now, and she was tracking Richie and Amber and all of the kids and all of the survivors from the last movie, and somehow she did not make the connection that that Detective Bailey and the 2 kids were related to Richie. How? There's no way. There is no way. FBI agent is gonna crack that in 2 seconds. It's really, the plot is very convenient, a little too convenient at times. So I am going to ultimately, what do I want to do? I'm gonna put it in. God, I'm torn. I'm really torn. I'm gonna put it in good, and I'm actually gonna take Scream 2 out and put it in tolerable. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, ultimately my decision for this is there is a little bit more action throughout with Scream 6 that makes it a little bit more of an easier watch than Scream 2. Overall, they're close, but I'm going to give a slight edge to Scream 6. All right, next up we have the original Scream, and this is an easy one for me. This is going straight up into what's your favorite scary movie. This is easily one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I really dig it. Everything about it that is tight, perfect. There's not a lot of complaining that I can do about it. One of the best opening kills in a horror movie that you'll ever see. Drew Barrymore at this time in the 90s was A-list, huge actress, and for her to die in a gruesome way was shocking for a lot of people. She was supposed to play Sydney, but ultimately she decided it was, according to her, let's put heavy quotations on this, according to her, that she was the one that wanted to be the opening kill, supposedly. How true is that? I don't know. But ultimately it worked out for the better. We got a great opening kill. We got a great final girl in Sydney. We got, in my opinion, the best two reveals for the killers in the franchise, in Stu and Billy. I wish if I had to give one critique about it, I would say I wish in the middle. So after we get that great opening kill in the middle, there's not a lot happened. We get one kill with Henry Winkler, but other than that, that's it. And Henry Winkler is just there to kill. So, but I mean, we got two kills up until the third act, and it's Drew Barrymore and Henry Winkler, two major actors. So surprising in and of itself. We got a cameo from Wes Craven, who plays Freddy Krueger dressed up as a janitor. That was really cool to see. I love the soundtrack for the movie. Fits the movie perfectly. Does not fit Halloween H2O, but we'll talk about that in another video. So overall, one of the best horror movies, one of my favorite horror movies, one of the best slasher movies. This movie in the 90s saved the slasher genre. The slasher genre was on a significant downslope, and this kind of brought it back. So that alone for its historical point of view in terms of resurrecting the slasher genre will keep it as a classic always. And then lastly, we have Scream, or Scream 5, however you want to look at it. Scream, the requel one. I am going to put this in good. I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. So we get your requel. This is your requel. We're introduced to new characters. I love the opening scene with Jenna Ortega. You can see right off the bat that Jenna Ortega is a star. It's very apparent in this opening scene. And of course, after this, she has gone on to do amazing things. Wednesday, she did X, and no, she wasn't in Pearl. She was in X. X, a great movie. I loved X. She did Wednesday, so and she came back for Scream 6. So she has been making the rounds in horror since this movie, and I hope we get to keep her in the horror franchise, in the horror genre, because she is amazing. I absolutely adore her. The dynamic with her and her sister are great. We get your new Randy characters, and oddly enough, this may be a hot take, and I'm going to bite the bullet. Of the three legacy characters, Gail, Sydney, and Dewey definitely has the biggest presence and the most screen time in this movie of the three. Other than that, besides me saying that, I think that this is Dewey's best movie. He's not a dimwit anymore. He doesn't come off like Officer Doofy from Scary Movie. He's kind of got the Randy kind of vibe now. He's kind of got Randy vibe with like this hard-nosed retired cop type vibe, and the two kind of balance themselves out nicely. I really like what they did with Dewey in this movie. Of course, he dies in the end, and I was okay with it. This was a great way for him to go out. Overall, solid, very solid. Sydney doesn't have much to do. She returns in the third act, of course, after she finds out Dewey dies. Gail is off in New York doing talk show, writing books, typical Gail stuff. She comes back. They have a great final act. Ultimately, if I had to give this movie a critique, the killer reveal is fairly obvious. Like within the first 10 minutes of the movie, Richie and Amber, it was really, really, really obvious. I wish they had made it a little more less obvious, but overall, still a solid Scream movie. I really enjoy it. So yeah, that's it. So we got one. What's your favorite scary movie? That's the original Scream. We got 4, 5, and 6 as good. We have 2 as tolerable, and we have 3 as not good. But what do you guys think? Comment below and let me know your rankings. Am I way off on this? Am I right on the money? I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. Also, stay tuned. I got more content coming out. Hopefully before Halloween, but if not, of course, as you guys know, it's horror year round for over here on this channel. So I want to upload more consistently. So yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you go down, like, subscribe, comment, let me know your ranking. I'll see you guys soon. Peace. I'm out of here.